I am a lady.
Yes.
And ladies love to be appreciated, especially when they are beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. Ladies love to be, like, for example, kufunguliwa mlango ya gari, aingie, asikie. This guy is a gentleman. And these are the things that I don't get.
Yes.
These are the things that I, in a thinkingi pole pole, that I am the one who is supposed actually to do that. Tukiingia kwa gari, I'm the one who will open the door for him. I am the one who will, and it's a matter of adjusting, accepting and adjusting to it.
Hi beautiful people, how are you? My name is Priscilla Ndanu and welcome to the Priscilla Ndanu Show. Here we expect honest, authentic and life transformative information. You know, it's been reiterated time and time again that there's absolutely nothing new under the sun, and that's why here in this show we have knowledge being transferred from one generation to another. And this is very special because today we are going to be interviewing a lady who is an amazing chef. She is the wife of none other than Denno. Most of you know Denno as a Mbona Mbona music artist or Story Yangu. Those are some of the hit songs that he has sung. And today we have the wife over telling us her love story, how it is to be married to Denno and everything else about her. So you want to sit around and find out this beautiful, beautiful love story. It's a first of its kind because this is an exclusive interview. Karibuni sana. Take your phone, start sharing this content right now. Share with your friends, share with every other person that you know because we have a very special episode. How do you date? How do you marry differently able people? And how does that look like? You'll hear all of that today on this show, The Priscilla Ndanu Show. Karibu sana, Faith.
Thank you so much,
Welcome. Welcome
you.
to Priscilla Ndanu Show.
I'm glad to be here today.
You look very beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You know, when you walked in, the first thing I told you, this show used to be called Pour It Out. In my head, I was like, I need to get used to the new name.
Yeah, the new name, Priscilla Ndanu, and I'm so privileged to be the first one here.
Thank you.
New name.
Karibu sana.
Yeah.
So Faith, tell us a bit about yourself. I know you're a mother. I know you're a wife to Denno, but I know there's more to that. There's that word that you told me.
Yeah.
Leirida.
You got it right. You got it right. Yeah, my name is Faith Naliaka Karanja, and I am born again. I love Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I am also a wife to one N.Karanja Njoroge, to whom I love so much. And I am a mother to two. My firstborn is Alisa, turning 6 this December. And then I have a secondborn, Andy, who is 2 years old. And I'm also a minister, apparently.
Why are you adding apparently?
Because ministry caught up with me. It's something that I had not planned to do in my life, something that I never see myself doing, but it somehow caught up with me. So I'm also serving as a lay reader in my church.
Okay. What is the role of a lay reader?
A lay reader, I think in the, it's like assistant pastor in the Pentecostal setup. But now in Anglican setup, a person who is assisting the vicar, or rather the priest, is called a lay reader. So that is what I'm doing.
Wow.
I'm assisting my vicar.
Did you ever imagine that you'd be doing something so serious in church?
Never. Even in my holiest dreams when I was growing up, I never thought that one day I will stand like a minister or doing something in line of pastoral or of the sort. I loved serving. During my growth, I loved serving in church. I loved being in music. I sang in choir before I got married, and also in the praise and worship. But now that I got married into the Anglican church, I found that setup, and I was also privileged just by the grace of God to be a lay reader.
After you got married, that's when now you found your way into just adjusting to this is my new church, and then now taking up responsibilities at church.
That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us about your love story.
Love is interesting. Love is interesting because it's from God. And I thank God I found love in my life. My love story started all the way from 2016, like 2015. 2015, that is when I started the journey of love with my beloved husband, Denno. He found me through his cousin. They were very close with the cousin, and the cousin happened to be my best friend at that particular time. And at that time, we were living back in Kangemi, me and her best friend. So Denno would come every time to visit the cousin, and also to our church. We would invite him to our church, and every time he came, he found me with her. My best friend still is. Her name is Sally.
Sally.
Yeah, Salome.
Hi, Sally.
I mention her everywhere because apparently she's somehow, people call her a hookup between me and her cousin. But I get to mention her everywhere because it is through her that I got to meet Denno. Yeah, and our friendship began there.
So you guys, when mlipatana, was it like love at first sight? Umemuona, amekupenda, you know, like, how was it?
Okay, it wasn't love at first sight from my side. Okay, I would see him coming to visit Sally, and I would get so excited that this is a great person. And it would really come up to my mind and wonder, how is he doing his things? How is he managing to do all the things that he does, irrespective of his disability of visual impairment?
Yes.
And I would ask Sally, Sasa Denno, how does he survive? How does he do his thing? How is he even able to come? Because sometimes he just came with a friend. And I was like, he must be doing things in a very hard way in that condition that he is. And Sally is like, no, Denno is just a person like any other. Denno does things like the way all of us does. And so every time he would come, I would ask. And so Sally got like kinda, I don't want to say offended, but he got, this is too much. You're asking too much. And now she decided to she decided to invite Denno over. She told me that you're asking me a lot about Denno. I'm thinking of inviting him over so that you will ask these questions yourself. Ask him. And I was like,
a third party.
Yeah. And I was like, no, mimi sijasema umuinvite. Nauliza tu, okay, he's a good person.
Out
I'm
of
just
concern.
concerned. Yeah. And she was like, mimi nitamuinvite. And I was like, mimi sijakwambia umuinvite. I know I'm not insisting on that. Anyways, just forget about it. But Sally went ahead.
Akamuita.
Yeah, akamuita. Okay, what I didn't know is every time Denno would come over, akirudi sasa Rongai. Akirudi Rongai, he would call back Sally. And say, that lady, huyo Fei, anafanyanga nini? Huyo Fei ni nani? So on the other hand, pia Denno naye anauliza so much about me.
He's also picking interest. Anataka kujua.
Anataka kujua, who is this Fei and what does she do? What are her interests? And Sally akajua, I'm the one in the middle, na mimi najibu maswali zenye sifai kujibu. Let me make these people come together and speak and talk. So she invited Denno over, and he came. I was very, very nervous and anxious at the same time. Nilikuwa nashanga, what?
So you had seen him before? I mean, mmepatana, unamuonanga. Why? Mbona sahi ulikuwa anxious?
As in, he's coming now to see me.
Like a date.
Yeah.
Now.
So nilikuwa nashanga sasa hata what conversation will we have with this guy? But when Denno came, he has a personality that is cool. We blended, he became a friend like immediately, and we started talking like if we know each other for quite a long time. And he just became a friend, and our love story started there. Because he came again and again and again.
So after how long did you guys get married?
Okay, we dated for 2 years, after which he proposed, and then we got married in 2016 after 2 years. The proposal was very, very interesting. I must say that he's strategic and he's on point. Okay, the proposal happened in a very, I don't want to say unique or rather divine way, because he came into my life when I was having a challenge. I had just had an accident from my place of work. and I got a very bad injury on my foot. I actually have a very big mark on my foot. And he came into my life when it was a healing process. And during that time, I told you he found me in church. And I was in church. My friends in church were helping me so much. Like they would fundraise, take me to hospital, and do all the things that, you know, friends does to a person who is having a problem. And so he came into my life in that season when I was like healing up and my leg was getting stable. And he asked me, if I asked you, what would you want me to do for your birthday? Nikamwambia, me, hey, I've never been asked such a question, but anyway, I'll be glad if I hold something like a lunch in our church, whereby I will get to appreciate all my friends.
Wow.
Just by words. Yani just telling them that I appreciate your help. And he said, that's nice. Akaniambia, that will be good because I also want to advertise something and your friends will be my audience. So it's a deal. So
could advertise.
Yeah, I want to advertise something. He wanted to do something that needed the people to know about it.
Yeah.
So akaniambia, you just organize everything, organize the meals and everything, and I will need inaitwaje ile the projector. The projector, just after you've finished saying to your friends whatever you want to say, I will use the projector to explain to them what I want to do in future. And I said that's a deal, and thank you so much. So in that setup, in that occasion, in my church, I had organized the meals and what have you. And after the meals, it was when I was about to tell them the reason as to why I called them. And so time ikafika nikaambiwa sasa enda hapo mbele uambie watu. And when I went up there and stood there, nikaanza, good afternoon everyone, I'm so glad to have you here. And people are like, wow. And I'm like, what's happening? Nikiangalia nyuma naona kwa projector my pictures and his. And I'm like, the guy who was controlling the projector alikuwa beshte yake. And I was like apologizing on his behalf. Oh, I'm sorry, this is something that is not supposed to happen.
Unaona kama ni makosa.
Yeah. So back to what I was going to do. Now, guys, I'm standing here to appreciate all of you, and they're like, wow.
Like Alex. To a projector,
his name is Alex actually.
Photos.
Yeah. Alex, cheza chini. Or rather, wachana tu nayo. After this, you will continue with setting up for Denno. Sasa nikiendelea, everyone was like, wow, and they're even standing up and clapping. And they were just my photos and his. And after that, there was a photo. He came with a ring and he knelt down in front of my friends. And these are people whom I fellowshipped with, people whom I respect so much. And he came and knelt down before all of them and he proposed for my hand in marriage. And that was amazing.
Did you cry?
It was amazing.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow, he is a charming guy.
He is.
You know, many people think, because mtu haoni, you're imagining.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot that he doesn't know, but how to do Hokorada.
So Faith, how is it to be married to a visually impaired person?
It's not any different from dating a well-sighted person. It's not any different. As long as you guys are friends, as long as you have like accepted in your heart and known that this is how he is and this is how people who are visually impaired act. And this is how, because there's a lot, even Mimi, wakati I entered into a relationship with Denno, there's a lot that I didn't know about people who are visually impaired. I've been learning throughout the years.
Yes.
Yeah. So the very first time, it was easy because he's just a friend.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to get this done. I help him. I need to get this done. I'm guide or what have you. But it's just normal. Yeah.
And now when it's a difference, he's now not just a friend. Now he's yours permanently.
Yeah.
How does that look like?
Now that is the space I told you that I've had to learn things.
Yeah.
Things, how to deal with people who are visually impaired.
Yes.
And it's a learning process every day. I wouldn't say that I've made it, but it's interesting because I get to see the difference with a person who is sighted and a person who is not sighted.
What is the difference?
The difference is, like, for example, I am a lady.
Yes.
And ladies love to be appreciated, especially when they are beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. Ladies love to be, like, for example, kufunguliwa mlango ya gari, aingie, asikie, this guy is a gentleman. And these are the things that I don't get.
Yes.
These are the things that I, in a thinkingi pole, that I am the one who is supposed actually to do that. Tukiingia kwa gari, I'm the one who will open the door for him. I am the one who will, and it's a matter of adjusting, accepting and adjusting to it. It should be driven by love, sababu. If you're not driven by love and probably God is not the center of your relationship with that person, you will get tired. But as for me, I've never gotten tired because Denno is a friend and it's someone whom I love, and God is the center of our marriage. That is why we've come this far.
That is very beautiful. And you are very, very beautiful, Have you ever just wondered, oh my God, you'll never maybe get to see how you look like?
Okay, for me, I think everyone tells me I'm beautiful and I'm content. And as for him, actually the time he asked me whether I would want to get in a relationship with me, I felt so honored. Wow. That someone who cannot even see me wants to get in a relationship with me. Someone who doesn't know even how I look like wants me to be his friend. I felt so honored.
Mmepanga harusi, mmepanga hizi vitu zote.
Okay, when I got into a relationship with him, my biggest goosebump that I had was telling it to my mom, because my dad by then was late. Was telling it to my mom, and I was like, would she really accept me to get married to a person who is visually impaired? And one day I just gathered all the strength that I have within me, and I called her. And I told her, Mom, I have something to tell you. I'm in a relationship, and this relationship looks like it's leading to marriage. Akaniambia, oh, congratulations. Kwa nini haukuniambia mapema? Nani? Nikamwambia, it's someone probably unamjua, but ni venye hamjakutana. Akaniambia, oh, kama unaona ni mtu mzuri mwenye mnaelekea mahali pazuri, it's okay with me. Si tutakutana tu baadaye, you'll just organize on how we are going to meet. Nikamwambia ni sawa. Nikamwambia, there's something else I want to tell you. Akaniambia, ni mtu ambaye hana uwezo wa kuona. Akaniuliza ati? Nikamwambia ni mtu ambaye hana uwezo wa kuona. Akaniuliza haoni? Nikamwambia Akaniambia really? Nikamwambia yeah, ni mtu ambaye haoni kabisa. Akaniuliza aliumia macho? Those questions. Yes. Nikamwambia hapana, alizaliwa bila uwezo wa kuona. Akaniambia, oh, na hivyo ndivyo umeamua? Nikamwambia kama ni hivyo umeamua, ni sawa.
Wow.
Ni sawa, na Mungu awasaidie. And that thing alone gave me a lot of joy, a lot of approval that this is actually the right thing. But I have an auntie who was like against my decision, because she thought, because of my wounds. I told you I had an accident.
Yes.
Yeah? She thought that I am getting married to a person who does not see because I have a lot of wounds. The wound that I had, lazima ningefanyiwa skin graft. Ile you're being cut one place of the body, ikuwe grafted. And then unfortunately it did not heal the first time of grafting. So another part needs to be cut, pia ipachikwe hapo. So I had a lot of marks in my body. And my auntie thought I am doing that because of the marks. I'm getting married to a person who is not seeing because I have marks. That was her thinking. But it just pulled through. It pulled through after making her understand it's not even about me, because I told you my relationship with Denno is divine. It's very divine, and thank you for this platform, because I have never gotten to share this. It happened to me when I was in church, the accident, when I was working but still committed to church. And during the time that I was ailing and the graftings and what have you, there was one night I was just sitting down in a lot of pain because of the wounds. And I was just wondering, just like the way all other women who are growing wonder, as in, who will ever marry me with such marks on the body? And that particular time, it was divine. I wouldn't explain it any further, but I had peace after I heard a voice telling me that whoever will come your way will not see your marks. And at that particular time, sikukuwa ninajua Denno, sikukuwa najua I even want to get married. It was just a thought that came randomly in my head. And that night I had that voice, and I was like, I comforted myself. Maybe it's myself thinking that whoever will come my way will see the marks but will not be troubled by them. Atanipenda tu hivyo venye niko with the marks. So when 2 years after that, after the time I was having the pain, that is when Denno came in my life. And when he asked me, venye tu aliniulizanga, will you want to be in a relationship with me? That is the time I remembered, the time 2 years back. Nikifikiria who will ever marry me. And so him asking me for a hand in marriage was like an approval that God did not mean that a person who will come into my life will see the marks. He will actually not see the marks. Wow. Yeah, so that is why I call my marriage divine.
It is?
Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing. By the way, guys, I am dressed by Urembo Creations. Yes, my beautiful blouse, my pants, my beautiful accessories, my makeup, hairstyling, everything is done by Urembo Creations. When it comes to all your fashion and beauty needs, that's the place. That is the place. So please, usisahau, ukihitaji details, kukapo, hivi kama mimi, nini, Urembo is the place. Sasa wacha tuendelee na video. Now, how do you deal with people's opinions? Because, you're not the only one, Faith, who is in a space where you're marrying maybe someone, in your case, it's visual impairment.
Yeah.
But we have different kinds of, of people
disability.
who are differently able.
Yeah.
And it can take a toll on someone. So what are the coping mechanisms? How do you
It really does, because after our wedding, I got some strolling from the social media, and people came in saying that that lady has just seen the fame of Denno, that lady is just about money, that lady is not genuine, we'll just see whether the marriage will last, and it's on social media. Actually, sikukuwa nimeona, my friends are the ones who are like responding to them, telling them, Faith tunamjua, we know this lady, we know Denno, nini. She's not a bad lady. She's not after money. She's not after fame. So that can really take a toll on someone. It narrows back to your determination as a person. And the reason as to why you really want to get married to a person who is abled differently. So if you are shallow about it, true, utakuwa discouraged. So many people will discourage you. Because even now, people tell me that, if you're beautiful, why did you make that decision? And these are people who are around you, they are friends. It just narrows down back to you. Why did you make that decision? Do you really love this person? Is God the center of your relationship with him? Yeah.
Do you need to do therapy? Do you need to affirm yourself every day? I am okay. Mtu wa kawaida anaweza kujisay, because situation ndio hii. I've heard that you've strongly mentioned, it's again, why did you choose this decision? But sometimes you can make a decision, umeingia alafu uko like, haya. Now
But
achana
you
hata na
see-
watu kenye watu wanasema. Sasa mtu mwenyewe ako, was I really ready for this? Mtu kama huyo ni nini anaweza kufanya?
Sasa
Kujisaidia mwenyewe to cope with the situation.
I think mtu kama huyo ndio sasa anaweza enda therapy, but mtu kama mimi I don't need therapy. I'm very much okay, and I am very proud of being with my husband. And one thing also that is also important before you get into marriage, kuna zile premarital classes zenye huwa zinakuanga offered. So they are very vital. Not only even to people who are disabled, but also people who just want to get into marriage.
Yes.
Premarital classes are very important because they focus on they teach you the good side of marriage and the bad side of marriage. They lower your expectations as a person and bring them to a balance that is reasonable. As in, ukikuwa na ile high expectation that I am getting married to this person, like for my sake, many people think that probably I got married to Denno because of his fame, and by that I will be famous also. But it's not the case.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, when you get into marriage and live it,
yeah,
it's actually not the case. Yeah, so premarital class is very important. It will watakufundisha tu how to handle things when you're in marriage.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, apart from now being married to your husband, you are married also to a celebrity. You're married to, he's a public figure. Yeah. And there's so much that comes from that. Most of us, what we see is the name, the person, we are excited. But most of the work goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Wewe umemanage aje kukua behind the scenes all the time, supporting him?
Yeah, let me say it's the grace of God. It's not easy. Yeah, it's very true that people Kenya wanaona kwa screen, that is what they take home, and they assume that life is like that, but it isn't. I am here to tell them that life is as normal as any other life out there. Celebrities are also people who go through challenges, just like all other people who are not celebrities. We live in the same world.
Wow.
Yeah, we live in the same world, and they are real. They also suffer, they also go through pain. Kama for my sake, I'm also learning to be behind him as a celebrity. Because me hata mimi enyewe, honestly speaking, being in his life had nothing to do with him being a celebrity. It had nothing to do. In fact, I'm also learning. Because even when we work with him as a celebrity, wakati mwingine huwa nasahau watu wengi sana wanamjua. So when we work with him, we find people, Denno. And you're like there, you're behind. Wait, Denno, we love you love your music, and mi niko like, guy, si tunafaa tu tuende tu tukio tumetulia tufike mahali tunaenda, but it down, inaingianga tu polepole, knowing that this guy is not only your guy. Many people know him, and he has very many people around him who really approves what he does. So I just learn every day, and it's not easy. It's not easy being that I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a minister, I am also working.
Denno is a lucky guy. At least he gets to eat very good food. You know, when you came in, the first thing you told me you're a chef, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, our tea. I hope our tea is good enough.
No, we usually appreciate what other people have also cooked tastes nice.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
So according to research, it shows that many people who are visually impaired, they are extremely creative, they are resourceful people, they're innovative. How has that helped you as a person? Because you are with someone who has all these senses that are so high on a positive note.
Wow.
That
is a very true statement. That people who are able differently have gifts that people who are just seen as normal doesn't have. Because being a wife to Denno, I've gotten to experience people who are able differently, his friends. And also I've gotten to visit the school that he went. And man, these people have got great talents, great talents. they sing well, wanakuwa na senses zingine ambazo. There's a guy whom I met, though not through him, who is also visually impaired, and he is able to identify you with your palm. When he greets you, after 2 years, akikusalimia tena atakwambia, you told me that your name is Priscilla. And that is how he has that special sense. And it's true. They are very talented.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, before tumalize, etiquettes of dealing with people who are differently abled. Tuko na watu wengi sana, and all of you who are watching at home, you know, you find people, it starts also with the words, like calling people names, not knowing how to behave around them, misbehaving around them.
Yeah.
What are some of these etiquettes that you can advise people, you know, so that they know moving on, they know better? Because unajua saa ingine tunafanyanga vitu si ati hatujui.
Yeah.
Like I learned, you know, you don't call people, you don't say they are blind, because blind is like, it's everything is blind.
Yeah.
It's just that they cannot see, but then they are not blind.
They are not blind.
And you know, these are things you just learned recently.
Yeah.
So ni etiquettes gani zenye unaweza kutufundisha, even for those people who are watching at home, so that we behave better, we speak better, we do better, and respect everyone around us?
Yeah, that's true. And you've given a very interesting example of blind. Calling someone blind is totally unacceptable. Because blind, even in the Bible itself, blind ni ule mtu mwenye hana Christ. Because watu wenye wako na Christ, they have the light. And people who doesn't have Christ, they are referred to as blind in the Bible. So kuita mtu blind somehow ni kama kumwambia wewe you don't have the light, who is Christ.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to refer them to as visually impaired. Yeah, hata kwa Kiswahili kuita mtu kipofu, ki ni kitu ambacho hakina uhai. So there was even a debate recently of changing from kipofu to mpofu. Because ki ni ngeli ya kitu ambacho hakina uhai.
Kiti.
Yeah, kiti, kikombe, kijiko. So ukiweka kipofu hapo pia ni kama kumdhalilisha kidogo. Yeah. But there was a debate, I don't know whether itapitishwa, but I'm praying for it ipitishwe, because it will help people to refer people in a proper way. And also when you see someone who is visually impaired ama akona any form of disability, ile kuangalia, like to stare with a surprise. That thing, hiyo kitu in my first years in marriage, I used to get so mad. As in, mkipita naye mahali, kila mtu anaacha shughuli zake, anashtuka, anawapea njia, and anawaangalia tu in a way that inakuonyesha you're abnormal. You guys, you're abnormal.
When you first interacted with Denno, hiyo mara ya kwanza, ulikuwa una stare ama these are things you learned with time? You never used to like?
I never used to stare. And even in my entire life, wakati nilikuanga na kutana na watu ambao wako blind, I never like kuona kama ni maajabu. Because I feel it's just not good to stare.
So that's number 2. Yeah. We are learning here, because many people tunafanya na hatujui, ni makosa tu ndogo ndogo you're not aware of.
Instead of staring, kama ni kupita na pita, excuse them, speak to them because they cannot see you. Wasalimie tu, excuse them and just behave like if it's also a normal person, because it helps them also feel appreciated.
Hizo mbili ndio main.
Yeah.
Let them pass, give them way, and don't stare.
Yeah, don't stare. Just greet them if you feel.
Labda naweza kumwangalia, but then it's for the people that are around them also.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Sababu hata nikitembea na Denno, unasikia mtu anasema, salimia Denno. And this is, mpaka yeye mwenyewe anasema, nimesalimika.
Yako hapo.
Wana assume venye haoni pia hasikii.
Yes. It's an assumption, but there many people think if you can't see, then you can't hear.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
It's just wise to, kama umemuona msalimie na umpishe kama unampisha, but staring like if it's something so unusual, inafanyanga
salamu.
Yeah. Yeah, that is watu wanafanyanga but they don't know. So you would actually forgive them. You wouldn't crucify them for that.
So Faith, tell us about your babies. Uko na watoto wawili wazuri sana.
Yeah, I have indeed great children. They are 2, just as you have said. The first one is Alisa. Alisa is turning 6 this December 12th. Ni mtoto wa Jamhuri Day. Yeah, and she's came in as a bundle of joy.
Wow.
Yeah, to us. Apparently Denno wanted a girl for the first baby, and God granted his wish.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted a boy, but I was pending because the second one also is a boy.
So it's 50-50 now, kila mtu ako na mtu.
Yeah. Kuna Lisa wa daddy na Andy wa mami. Yeah, and they are like a blessing to me. And you know, the expectation of so many people when you're getting married to a person who is abled differently. Expectation yao ni kama mzae hana mguu, utazaa watoto hawana mguu. Kama mzae hana macho, utazaa wenye hawana macho. Yeah. But God has a way of doing things in his own way. Our children are all well sighted. Najua this because when I had my first baby, I had so many guests wenye hata sikuwa na expect coming in, and I later on realized they were coming to see whether katoto kanaona
actually.
Yeah. Hey, but not the majority, of course. But there are a few
who wanted to confirm.
Yeah,
are they seen or are they not seen?
Yeah. But they are whole. They are well.
And were you ever scared at any point that maybe I will get kids who can't see?
Okay, I had someone who asked me that. I've never shared it with Denno. I had someone who asked me that. Akaniuliza, unajua sasa kama unataka kupata watoto na huyu jamaa, umefanya research? Nikamuuliza research ya nini? As in, akaniuliza, hii visual impairment yake, kwao kuna watu wako hivyo ama ni yeye tu? Nikamwambia sijafanya research, but as far as I know, mimi najua tu ni yeye tu. So that thing made me start thinking, but sikuogopa. Sikuogopa, nilikuwa nasema whichever thing that God wants me to do in this life, in my marriage, I am ready for it. Yeah, but haikunisumbua, sikuogopa. I wouldn't say I feared that I would have children who are visually impaired. Yeah.
And how is it now with Denno and his children having a conversation?
He's a good, yani imagine hata wanampea. I usually feel jealous, the relationship they have. He's a good daddy to them and they love him so much. So much. Ile akiingia kwa nyumba, everything must stop kwanza, ile tu kusherekea ya 5 minutes. Daddy, and they would hug him for like 50 minutes. After sasa amemalizana na wao, ndio sasa anakuja niambia, sasa babe mambo. Yeah, he is actually a good father. Wow. Has a good rapport with them. Yeah. Especially Alisa.
Nice. Or the girl.
Yeah.
Alisa wa mami na Andy wa daddy.
Yeah.
That household is blessed. Nice. So tell us about the initiative that Denno is doing.
Denno is a hard worker, and I appreciate him for the efforts that he puts in his life to make our lives rolling, and also to help others, because the initiative that he is into actually is to help children who have visual impairment. Ako into a project with an organization called Johari, and this the main mandate of this organization is to help with devices that will help people who are visually impaired, especially children. And so they have done several events where they go to schools, the visual impairment schools, and they give them white canes and assistive devices zenye zinawasaidia na mobility. So the next project that he is onto ni kwenda Meru, the Johari organization, of which he is one of the members, wanaenda Meru kufanya hiyo charity, kupeana white canes to the small children. And I'm taking this chance to invite everyone who is able to go with them, waende, wasupport our watoto, and giving them vision, giving them hope, and encouraging them. It's a good initiative that he does.
I've seen it on the social media. There's a time I also saw it was as low as 99 that you can give? Is it part of that initiative?
Yeah, they also raise funds. Hizi funds zinatumika kubuy whitekins.
Yes.
Ambazo sasa wanapelekea watoto kwa hizi shule.
So let me ask, if someone wants to partner or someone wants to support, is that open to the public? Is that something someone can do?
Yeah, it's very open to the public. You can follow him even kwa pages zake.
Denno Music?
Yeah, Denno Music. Denno Music. Kwa Instagram, Denno Music. Kwa Facebook, Denno Music. I think everywhere it's just Denno Music.
Na tutapata hizo details za kama ni kutuma pesa, however you want to partner.
Exactly.
Even some people, maybe you even have canes with you, the white canes. They can partner in whichever form.
In whichever form, they can just bring the canes to them. They can even offer to be available on that particular day to go with them to Meru. They can even bring monetary in form of money. Ukienda kwa hiyo page yake, you will get everything.
Sawa sawa, tutawekea kwa description box details za kulipa, so that if you come watch this video and you want to support and partner with this initiative, you just go there, get the details and make the payments, and God will bless you. Asante sana sana sana. You guys are amazing. I'm very encouraged. And maybe just before we leave, you can share words of encouragement to a lady or a man who is married to somebody who is differently able, and they're thinking, oh my God, how do I go about this? Just give them a word of encouragement. That's your camera.
Okay, I would like to encourage each and every person who wants to get into marriage, or they are into marriage with people who are abled differently, whether any form of disability, is to encourage you to carry on with the task, because it's like a mantle that you have received. Carry on with it to the end, and make sure that God is the center of your relationship. Show these people love, because they are just like us. And when you show them love, you receive love from them. And don't be afraid of the pressure that is alongside. Just be focused. Be focused. Pray for your relationship. Love that person with a godly love, and let God lead you. Now, usiogope any form of discouragements, because they are with us every day.
Wow, asante sana. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching with me in this show. Today was Faith. We have had an amazing conversation. I hope you have enjoyed. So what you can do right now, take your phone, start sharing this content with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones, because this is information that everybody needs to have. Nawapenda sana. Kisses to all of you. Mwah, you are loved. And see you again next time on this channel every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Hapa kwa Priscilla Ndanu. Bye.